Amigos de la estación más completa, estoy muy contento porque ustedes saben que CHVRCHES es mi banda favorita en todo el mundo mundial y me acompaña Lauren Mayberry from CHVRCHES today with us. Lauren, how are you? And what about Ian and Doug?
I am well, thank you. I believe they are well. What time is it? Yes, they'll both be awake now. Martin is not an early riser, but he will be awake now. And yeah, we're really good. Thank you for having us on the show.
That's amazing. Tell me about, there's a lot to talk with you. Tell me about the single, this amazing single with a deep message. I know this was the first song you wrote for this album, but tell me everything about He Said, She Said and how you were inspired to write it.
Well, yeah, it was the first thing we wrote on the first day we came back to make a new CHVRCHES album. And it was just started with this big drum beat that Martin had come up with, this big aggressive drum beat. And it felt like we hadn't had that kind of energy in the band for a while, so we were really excited about it. And the opening line of the song, "He said you bore me to death," was the first lyric that came out, so it must have been buried in my head somewhere, which makes me a little worried for myself. But yeah, it really set the tone of where the song went, and I feel like anybody can relate to that feeling of having gone round and round and round in circles, making strange decisions that you don't know why you're making them. And everybody after this last year, I'm sure, knows what it's like to feel like you've been losing your mind a little bit, I think.
Yes. I want to talk with you about the clues and Easter eggs in your video clip and your social media. Cryptic Blue, the movie Carrie, Scream. Tell me about this video clip and the concept, and if they really are clues to this new era.
I'm very glad that you're finding the clues. That makes me very happy, because sometimes I wonder if anyone's going to see them apart from me and if I just seem like a crazy person. But yes, it's been really fun. Like, one of the good things, I suppose, about not being able to go on tour is that we've had more time to focus on these kinds of things. And I think that sometimes people get swept up in touring and forget about the fans that are in places where they're not playing shows, or people who can't make it to shows. So it's been really cool to think about how to build this era with those things in mind. And yes, there are clues within the video, and there's clues on the socials. And I think along with the next single, a lot of those things will become clear. So yes, that's very cryptic, but yeah, we wanted to make a little universe that everybody could live in when they listen to this record. So we're excited to be able to tell you more.
I want to talk more about this new album, CHV4. Dates, name, sound, how many tracks? I know there are 10 tracks. Is that true?
You were sleuthing on the Instagram, and I was
yeah, I'm your biggest fan. And there are rumors that you were inspired to certain bands like The Cure and Depeche Mode. Is that right?
I'm wearing my Cure jumper right now.
I love it.
There you go. Yeah, I think that last year, I feel like everybody spent a lot of time listening to records that were very comforting to them. And for us, those things are stuff like Depeche and The Cure, and just things that really feel like they set the bar and the tone for the kind of music that CHVRCHES now makes. And it was nice to kind of go back and think about music from that perspective, rather than just being so busy with the band all the time and running, moving. Like, in a way, the band is a wonderful but really destabilizing thing in your life a lot of the time, just because you have to be constantly on the go and you miss weddings, birthdays, all these things. But last year, it felt like it became a really centering thing for all of us. Like, we would have our Zoom meeting that we would go to every day, and that's where we would write songs and talk to each other and hang out. And it was very, like, it was nice that the band became this really, like, comforting thing for a change.
Can you give me like a month for a new single or for the releasing of this new album, maybe?
I would say the new single is closer than the last single. Does that make sense?
Okay.
We're closer to the new single than we are to the first single, timeline-wise.
Okay. One more thing that caught my attention about Love Is Dead. You write that this was the third difficult child. Why was difficult?
I think it was we learned a lot from that record in good ways and bad. Like I think working with 𝗟R𝘂𝗿𝗍𝗏 was so awesome. Like he is such a intelligent, talented guy, and the best musician I've ever been in a room with, hands down. And I love so much of that record, but it was more what we were. I don't think we really knew what we wanted to do with it, if that makes sense. I think when I listen to that record, it sounds a little more confused than the previous ones. But sometimes something can be confused and still have amazing moments, you know. I don't really believe in regretting things that you've done, because it's all part of the story and it's all part of the journey to get to where you got to. But I feel like it solidified for us on this record, we need to just really know what we want to do when we go in somewhere. And this was probably the most focused we felt in a long time. So, and I'm glad that we tried new things and we tried to open it up a bit more. And the band's always been this balance of pop and alternative and light and dark. And we just push those things differently at different times. And I think, yeah, Love Is Dead was the most light and poppy it had ever been. And I think that to me is really good, but I don't know, there's things I look back on and I feel we could have done better, but I think that's everybody. Everybody does that in life, especially musicians. You're like, oh, I wish I'd done this or this or this, but that's not how life works, you know? But I don't know. I love every album because they're all like a snapshot of a moment in time. And yeah, I feel like I didn't mean to drop tea all over the internet, but I meant it more as in, I feel like on this record, everyone is more on the same page. I feel like we were all three of us on different pages on the third record, and I think you can hear that, if that makes sense.
I know about the lyrics of your song. I know you compose some very important topics like sexism, discrimination, even politics. But I would love to know your opinion and your position. What do we need as a society, in your opinion and your position on these topics in your songs?
Oof. I don't know if I'm qualified to say. I don't know. I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but honestly, I just really wish that people could just be kinder to each other. Like basically every single news story that you see where something terrible is happening, something's going wrong, and like we just don't have any empathy for each other. And it's just fear, like decisions made out of fear, and I think it's very sad. But I don't know. I think whenever I say that, people are like, "No, there she goes with her hippie kumbaya, whatever." But I don't know. I think we could all serve to be a little bit nicer to each other, especially with the year that everyone's just had and is still happening. A little bit of kindness would go a long way, I think.
Right. What do you think, and how do you realize about the impact of Forever with the Hispanic audience during the TV show Élite? You even made a Spanish video lyric for this.
We did, yeah. We were so surprised and excited when people started talking about that song online. And I think it's really cool when stuff can be fan driven, you know? It wasn't a big marketing campaign that was created by a label. It was just people finding this song and sending it to their friends and talking about it. And yeah, we were just so excited and so grateful. And we keep trying to put tours together where we can go see our fans, and it just hasn't worked yet. So the fact that that song has really connected with people will hopefully make it easier for us to manage to get tour dates down there and yeah, have a nice time.
Do you know the starring a girl in the show, Dana Paola?
I know of like from the show, but I don't know her in real life. But yeah, the show is very dramatic. There is many things happen. I don't remember life being like that when I was a teenager. Like, it's all very saucy. It's all very saucy.
I love to hear your music there. What does Mexico mean to you, Lauren? Do you know any Mexican artist and any that you collaborate with?
Oh, Mexico is one of our favorite places to go. Whenever we play shows there, we're always just so blown away by how kind and cool everybody is to us, and just how everyone is just so passionate about music. Like, I feel like music fans there, they don't just like one song or one record. I feel like people really invest in artists and invest in music, and that's the nicest thing that can happen to you as a songwriter, is that your song connects with anybody, let alone that many people in that profound a way. So yes, I think the first festival we played in Mexico, we were surprised that anybody turned up. Excuse me, allergies. We were surprised that anybody turned up, and the fact that that many people care about churches in Mexico is just so special to us. So thank you to all the fans in Mexico.
How do you remember, especially Corona Capital, a festival you play? You even get a Mexican hat, remember?
I did, and it's in. But I had to squash it into my suitcase to bring it back. Which, like, we have like flags that people have made for us and drawings. And Mexico's one of the only places where people wait for us at the airport and at hotels and things. So I've never felt like I was in a boy band until we came to Mexico, and I was like, wow, I'm like a member of NSYNC. I feel like so special. But yes, and we keep all the things. I have a bunch of containers in my basement. That sounds weird, but where we keep all the fan stuff, and I put it away after I get home from tour, and that's where it all is.
Lauren, I really think CHVRCHES is very special for me and for all over the world. But what makes CHVRCHES special, at your opinion?
Ooh. I like to believe that people connect with the fact that we're honest in what we do, whether it's like the songs and the content of the songs or how we present it when we go into the world. Like, I think you should take your music and what you're doing seriously, but I don't think that you should take yourself that seriously. And like the concept of being in a band or being famous, like, it's also silly. Like, it's so silly, and it could go away tomorrow. So I think if you act like you're the most fancy, fabulous person in the world, then that's only to make you feel better. I don't think that helps you connect with people. And we all started making music because we wanted to express ourselves and connect with people and feel slightly less alone in the universe. So I think that it's nicer to focus on that than to focus on all the other stuff I can't say on the radio. I almost swore. Didn't do
it. You get the point. I think your music really connects with our souls. That's why I also think we identify with it in soundtracks, like in movies, series, even in video games. Why do these productions love CHVRCHES so much?
I mean, I don't know. I'm always very excited when we get an email. I'm like, oh, great, somebody wants the song. That's so exciting. But I don't know, I hope it's because of storytelling and how you can make people feel. And I always think with a TV show or a movie or a game, it's really cool to see your stories be used to tell someone else's stories. And especially with music and films and TV, like, we all know when we're watching a scene and the music doesn't fit at all. Or if you're watching it and you're like, yeah, this really helps tell you what those characters are going through and how they're feeling. And I think that's because you soundtrack your own life with music, you know? Like, I have certain bands and albums that I remember from certain times in my life. And I think that's a very powerful thing. So very grateful to be part of that in some way.
Sorry, Lauren, I got two questions with all the respect that you deserve. About collaboration, I know you collaborate with Marshmello, and there's like, I don't know, like a tick. What happened there with Marshmello? With the single and like a battle? I know I see something in social media, but what happened there?
Oh, sorry, there's a cat. There's a cat. What are you doing? She has
Hey, kitty.
She has thoughts on this issue. There she is.
Hey.
Oh, she's in a rage. I don't know.
I want to talk.
No. Well, yeah, like, so that was a song that we had written with a producer called Steve Mack. And oh, now she's eating my sweater. This is not helping. Go away. That was a song that we wrote with a producer called Steve Mack. And originally it was just this kind of short acoustic song. And then we played it to a bunch of people, hoping that somebody would buy the song and put somebody on it for a feature, not thinking it would be for us. And then when Marshmello heard it, he had wanted us to do the feature on it, and we were like, oh, nice. It was, I think now it's the most popular CHVRCHES song on the streaming services by quite a long way. So I think it was really good in terms of helping us find new audiences and get the songs out there. And then yeah, I guess the aftermath of that was slightly disheartening insofar as the personal politics of it. And yeah, I think the only thing that confuses me is that when people talk about that, they're like, I don't understand why churches couldn't just message him and talk to him about it personally rather than doing it on the internet. I'm like, well, we did do all that. Like, just because we didn't put the emails and the phone calls on the internet doesn't mean that we didn't have them. But I think at the end of the day, what was important for us was that our fans know that we're not hypocritical. And I just think that the kind of music we make, the kind of things that we talk about, and the kind of community that we try to create, we can't not take that seriously, you know. And I think that, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that our fans know that we hear them and we care, if that makes sense. Whew. I wriggled on the hook for that one there.
Talking about changing of topic, talking about featurings, Hayley Williams, also Matt Berninger for the National. Any other collaboration for this new album? The fans are begging for the 1975. I want to know.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I would beg for the 1975 too. That would be amazing. But no, it's not the 1975. There are some things in the pipeline which you guys will know about very soon, but I'm not allowed to tell you yet. But yes, I feel like if I know anything about people who come to our shows and the shirts I've seen them wearing at our shows, they will be pleased with this union when it becomes public. So,
and it's not Taylor Swift, right?
It's not Taylor Swift. No, that was a bad clue. That was a bad clue by me. Yes, I was meaning our song. On the internet, I said, like, it's something I never, ever thought would happen, meaning our song, Never Say Die, but did not think about the fact that it also could
obviously
be a Taylor Swift song. But it's not. I like that you have so much faith in us. You're like, they could definitely get her. I'm like, guys, I don't think we could, but but thank you for the faith. But I think it's going to be really exciting, and it's something that I never thought would happen. Never, ever thought would happen. So we'll see. I'm excited for you all to find out about it soon.
Okay, Lauren, I have another question about an album. A few weeks ago, you were looking from the church's most sinister songs, and then you released In Search of Darkness. My question is, why?
Well, last year was a dark year. It was a dark time. So I think it's fair to say that this record is more like less pop focused in the topics and stuff than the last album, for sure. And yeah, I think He Said, She Said is definitely a more radio friendly track. So we obviously lead with that because we would like to be on the radio. We would like to be on the radio. It helps people find the band. It helps us connect with fans, and yeah, but not all of the album is like that. So yes, we were setting the tone for what a lot of it's going to be like.
This is my last question, Lauren. Thanks for your time. With all your discography so far, what is your favorite and why of your albums? Except in this new one.
Oh, yes, okay. I feel like I'm lucky because I like all of the records. Like, I would say that when I look back on it, there's like maybe like 1 or 1.5 songs per album where I'm like, oh, I could have done better there. But I feel like that's more like critiquing your writing rather than critiquing the whole thing, you know? And I feel like when I look at the records, I'm glad that it always feels like us, and it always feels like a stepping stone in the story, you know? But yeah, there's certain songs I just wish we played, but they were album tracks. Like Lungs, a song on the first album, like we never played that. We never get to play it because it was an album track on the first record, but I miss it. I like it. Maybe we'll bring it back. We'll see.
Okay, 1+ question. What makes you lose your mind?
This cat during interviews, to be honest.
Oh.
See, now she's sitting because I'm like, she just wants me to scratch her stomach. But what makes me many things. I'm terrible with technology. Anything to do with technology will just, I can't handle it. I can't do that. And I think just not being able to, I think everybody must feel at this point, like, you know, you miss your friends, you miss your family. I haven't seen my wee mum since Christmas 2019. So
What?
yeah, that's making me lose my mind a little bit. But you know, we're lucky to be safe and happy and healthy. So one day I will see her, and then she'll be fed up with me again immediately. So we'll all go back to normal. We'll be fine.
Okay, Lauren, thank you so much for your time. Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren, for this time. I really enjoy it. Really, you don't have idea how much.
Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you for all your thoughtful questions. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you next time we get to come to Mexico, I hope.
I hope it too. Live shows,
Okay.
please, with
Yes.
churches, live presence.
Hope so. Awesome. Well, stay safe, dude. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Same, Lauren. Many kisses.
Bye.
Ciao.
And thank you, Danny. Bye, Danny. Bye.